Hi, my name is Maura Connor, and I'm the Program Manager for Graduate and Professional Financial Aid for the Office of Student Financial Aid for UToledo. Today, we will be talking about medical school financial aid for incoming M1s. On today's agenda, we will be focusing on how you may fund your medical education. Topics will include federal loans, such as applying for financial aid, cost of attendance budgets, and estimated financial aid awards, scholarships, repayment assistance and forgiveness programs, managing debt, financial literacy resources, and a to-do list, a sort of timeline to prepare for your first year. There are a few ways that you can fund your medical education that doesn't include paying out of pocket. Such ways can include federal financial aid through FAFSA, scholarships, both UToledo scholarships and outside scholarships, and repayment assistance programs. We'll be going over each of these topics more in depth throughout this presentation. The financial aid you will be offered as a medical student will be very different from the financial aid that you were offered as an undergraduate student. To start, as a medical student, you're considered to be an independent student. This means that parental information is not required on the FAFSA. However, depending on the school, you may still want to include it if you wish to be considered for need-based scholarships. The Parent Plus loan is also no longer available. However, Graduate Plus loans are now available to the student only. State and federal grants are also no longer available, nor are subsidized loans. Unsubsidized loans will be available for graduate and medical students though. As a medical student, you will be offered two different types of loans, the unsubsidized loan and the Graduate Plus loan. The unsubsidized loan is not credit-based, and you're awarded that loan based on just completing the FAFSA. You'll be awarded up to $20,500 per year as a graduate level student, and an additional $20,000 to $26,000 is available since you are a medical student. The Graduate Plus loan is a little bit different though. It is credit-based, but if you get denied, you may be able to get an endorser. You can apply for it through studentaid.gov. Both of these loans and all of your financial aid together can never exceed your cost of attendance or your budget. We'll talk a little bit more what that budget looks like later on though. Taking out federal loans may be a scary concept to many. It's important that you stay educated on what it means to take out loans through the Department of Education. Topics that you should kind of keep an eye on include origination fees and interest rates. Currently, the unsubsidized loan has an origination fee of 1.057% and an interest rate of 6.54%. Graduate Plus loans, though, have an origination fee of 4.228% and an interest rate of 7.54%. While it might be hard to understand what these numbers really mean, I'll give you an example soon. Congress sets these interest rates and origination fees. Interest rates will change around July 1st, 2023, but we don't know what those new rates will be until they are announced. Once Congress gives us these new rates, we'll be sure to share this information and update our MD financial aid page. There have been a lot of changes to student loans due to COVID-19. I've included a link from studentaid.gov that lists the different announcements that have been made and changes to your student loans. Interest rates on all federal student loans have automatically been set to 0% until June 30th, 2023, if not earlier. For borrowers currently on a repayment plan, their payments have been automatically suspended until 60 days after the payment pause, which will be June 30th, 2023 at the latest. If the Supreme Court comes back with an answer sooner, that date may be moved up. You also want to make sure you're aware of the various loan limits. As a medical student, you have a lifetime loan limit of $224,000. However, that's just specifically with the federal direct loans. Graduate Plus loans do not currently have a cap. Next, we're going to talk about cost of attendance and budgets. Every student here is given a cost of attendance or budget based on their year in school and their program they're enrolled in. In this example, you can see a Year 1 medical student for the 2023-24 cost of attendance. We include different things such as direct costs like tuition and fees, And we also consider indirect costs such as loan fees if you decide to take out loans, housing and food, and transportation. We do not include health insurance though. If you have health insurance, you'll want to make sure that you waive that. As an out-of-state student, we'll also include your out-of-state surcharge. It's important to note that your financial aid in total cannot be in excess of your total budget or cost of attendance. For example, as a first-year medical student, your total budget is $60,588.74. Your total financial aid cannot be in excess of that number. Same for out of state. Your total is $92,594. Again, your total financial aid in loans and scholarships cannot be in excess of that total number. Now that we've talked about the cost of attendance and budget, let's go ahead and look at a sample financial aid award for an M1 student that's considered to be in-state. Here in the total, you can see that they have an unsubsidized loan for $20,500, an additional unsubsidized loan for $20,000, and they may be able to take up to $20,088 in the Graduate Plus loan for a total award of $60,588. Just like I talked before, the total financial aid can never be in excess of the cost of attendance or budget. Through your years here as a medical student, you'll see that your fall and spring total awards may vary just a little bit. And that's because some fees are included in one semester, but not another. We try to ensure that when we create a cost of attendance or budget, it's as accurate as possible to the charges that you will receive. Let's now take a look at a sample financial aid award package for an incoming M1 who's considered to be out of state. The unsubsidized loan and additional unsubsidized loan is the same as the in-state. However, because the budget is much larger than the in-state student, an out-of-state student may take up to $52,094 in a Graduate Plus loan for a total award of $92,594. This seems like a lot of money. So it's important to note that you don't have to take out all of this loan money. You should only take out what you need in order to pay your bill and pay for your living expenses if you need it. As a medical student, if you decide to borrow federal loans, it's incredibly important to only borrow what you need in order to minimize the total debt that you'll be in once you come to graduation. In this example, I'm really going to show you why and the cost that comes with federal loans. For the unsubsidized loan, it has an origination fee of 1.057% for a $20,500 loan, which is about $216.70 right off the bat. Then, it also has a 6.54% interest rate. That means that it will accrue $1,340.70 in interest per year, which is about $112 a month in interest. The Graduate Plus loan is a little bit more though. It has an origination fee that's about 4.236%, which means that you will already be charged a fee right off the bat of $866.74. With a 7.54% interest rate, that means that $1,545.70 of interest will accrue every year. That means it's about $129 of interest that's going to accrue a month. Again, this is why it's important to only accept what you need. There are ways to pay this back, so I don't want you to be scared of these, but it's also important to only ever take out the amount of financial aid that you need in order to pay your bills and pay for your tuition. While you may not be in the repayment phase of your life right now, I think it's important to note what options you'll have once you reach graduation. There are a variety of repayment plans, such as the standard, extended, and graduate repayments, as well as the income contingent and income-based repayment plans. The income-driven repayment plans are wonderful because they will be based on whatever you're making, and then they're also going to include potential forgiveness options and interest benefits. I've included a link to the repayment calculator from studentaid.gov that simulates the loans you might have and what those repayments might look like. It's good to educate yourself throughout the years to ensure you know what those expectations should be once you reach graduation and go on to residency. You also have the option of taking out an alternative loan, also known as a private loan, through a private lender. It's important to note, though, that these loans do not qualify for federal benefits, including the different repayment plans and deferment options. They are credit-based, and you'll likely need a cosigner. Interest rates will vary. They may be fixed, or they may be variable. You have to do your research before borrowing an alternative loan. Check the interest rates. What repayment options do they have? Do they have any deferment or hardship options? Before deciding to take out an alternative loan, please just come have a conversation with our office. At the end of the day, your financial aid is your choice. You will make the final decision on what way and what route you want to go. However, I just want to make sure that you have all the information possible so you can be as fiscally responsible as you can to set yourself up for success post-graduation. Managing your debt while in medical school is the best thing you can do for yourself to set yourself up for success. A few ways to do this is first, limit the amount you borrow. Only take what you need. Make interest payments on your loans if you're able to. And be aware of what you're borrowing and keep records. Create an account with your loan servicer. Budget your personal expenses to reduce the amount of loans that you're borrowing. Seek out scholarships, assistantships, and programs that offer tuition assistance. Factor in out-of-state school cost. Review policy and procedure to become an in-state student as soon as possible. You're welcome to have an appointment with us every year or even every semester to talk about your financial aid, to check in where you're at, what your loan repayment might look like, and how to minimize your financial aid debt. Now let's talk about scholarships, because free money is the best kind of money. I've included a link here to the MD financial aid page because we have an external scholarship list. This is not all inclusive though. I recommend looking at different search engines that we've listed here, and then check in with different organizations you belong to, banks and credit unions, professional associations, or even employers to see if they have their own scholarship programs you may be able to participate in. A little bit of money here and there will save you lots of interest over time. Here is a link to the University Scholarship Search Guide. There are lots of different scholarships offered through UToledo, such as the general application, which is open from about December 1st through about March 1st. These dates may change though, so it's important you read all of your emails. You can also filter out options that don't apply to you, and the scholarship committees do review these applications every year. Scholarships are awarded any time between June and October, with the most being awarded during the summer months. Here are two specific opportunities that should appear in your UT search. They have different due dates from May 1st to June 1st. These scholarships do require a minimum of 3 recommendation letters, and you can submit them through the bottom link. You must provide them with your Rocket ID, available in the spring, your first and last name, birthday, and the name of the scholarship you're applying for, so we can be sure to link your recommendation letters to the application that you submitted for these scholarships. Next, let's talk about different repayment assistance programs. I've included a link from the AAMC that talks about the different repayment assistance programs, but you should note that it's not all inclusive. These are just some examples. There is tuition assistance while in school, and there can be repayment assistance for after graduation, or they may be able to just provide living stipends. However, it's important to note with many of these programs there is a service requirement. Utilize the AAMC's free searchable database of out-of-state and federal loan repayment and forgiveness programs at the below link. Let's talk about forgiveness programs now. First, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, or PSLF, is a very popular program. Information on it is available through studentaid.gov. Essentially, you have to make 120 total qualifying payments, or if the payments are made consecutively, about 10 years worth of payments. You must be on a qualifying repayment plan and work for an eligible employer. The good news is that there's no limit on the amount that you will be forgiven for, and the forgiven amount is not taxable. The income-driven repayment plan term forgiveness, though, is a little bit different. The pay, or pay as you earn, you will be given forgiveness after 20 years worth of payments and repay after 25 years worth of payments. However, forgiveness on these plans is taxable. Being financially literate, and not just your loans, but in life in general, is a great thing to have under your belt. The WMC has quite a few great resources, including an education debt manager for matriculating and graduating medical students, which talks a lot about loans. They also have a financial wellness program and free webinars on a variety of topics related to health programs, budgeting, and borrowing and repaying federal loans. I highly recommend you taking advantage of this. So again, you can be successful not only academically, but also financially while here at UToledo. On the topic of being fiscally responsible and financially literate, it's important to note that managing your credit while in school is very important. You are entitled to one free credit report from each of these free credit bureaus. You can manage your credit while you're in school, and in doing so will ensure you have access to graduate and plus loans and private loans if need be. Building your credit while in school will make it easier to qualify for large purchases later on, such as buying a home or a car. It takes time to build your credit, but it does not take a lot of time to ruin it. Making on-time payments each month on your debt will help increase your credit score. Now let's touch on the financial aid timeline. You should have completed your 2023-24 FAFSA by now, and if not, you should do so as soon as possible through studentaid.gov. You will receive an email notification from the Office of Student Financial Aid with your loan offer once it becomes available. Then, you'll be able to accept and decline the loans you're offered through your MyUT portal, and we recommend doing so by July 10th. You will also be able to then determine if you need to borrow the Graduate Plus loan. If you do, applications will be available through studentaid.gov about the first week of May. If you plan to borrow this loan for your first year, please be sure to complete this application no later than July 10th. Your fall tuition bill will be available sometime in July. Your fall loan disbursement is scheduled to occur about the week of July 31st. Before then, you're going to want to complete the Title IV authorization through your MyUT portal to ensure that we can use your financial aid to cover all of your eligible charges. If you're expecting a refund, be sure to set up direct deposit through your MyUT portal prior to the disbursement date. Refunds are generally issued within 2 to 3 days of disbursement. Then, you're going to want to be sure you budget that refund from July through January because your next disbursement will not come until about the week of January 3rd, 2024. So it's important to budget appropriately. I shared a lot of information with you today. So if you have any questions after watching this presentation, don't hesitate to email hscstudentfinaid@utoledo.edu. There's no such thing as bad questions. Congratulations on making it to medical school and for becoming a rocket. We are so excited to welcome you to our family. I look forward to meeting you all soon.